good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time you are tuning in. My name is Rachel Goldsworthy, and I am on a mission each and every week to improve my life by 2 millimeters, and I want to do that with you. How is everybody? Happy New Year. Have we had a good one? Have we had a good start to the new year? I'm not too sure, but you might be able to pop in the comments below where you're up to in your journey and what you're doing. My journey was a bit of a hiccup start actually to the new year. I said that I was going to start the 75 hard accountability, and I think I overshot the mark. I thought, yes, I'm going to start on the 1st of January, because everybody starts on the 1st of January. It's like when you start a diet, you start on Monday, you don't start on Saturday, or you don't start on Friday. You've got to finish the weekend and go hard and eat carbs and do what you can do and then start Monday. Hey Les, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. How's everything going there? And so the 75 hard, I was thinking, the 75 hard, for those of you who don't know, it's just a different way of doing things in your daily disciplines. And I was looking at changing a few of the KPIs that I do on a daily basis just to see how I could improve my lifestyle and what I'm doing in the output for what I'm doing in my life. And so 75 hard is basically you've got to drink a gallon of water a day, which is like 3.8 litres of water. You've got to do 2 exercises a day, one outside and one inside, so 2 45-minute sessions of exercise, and no cheat days, so you've got to stick to the diet. And you can have any diet, doesn't matter what diet it is, as long as you stick to that diet and whatever works for you, because obviously you know what works for you. Then there's also reading. If you can pick up a book and just sort of read 10 pages of that, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, and that's what I embarked upon. And I sort of had a soft start to the 1st of January because I thought, I'm catching up with a bunch of friends over Christmas period and family, and I don't want to be that person that goes to the party and goes, I can't eat this and I can't do that and I'm not having this, and so I thought, no, I'm just going to take it easy but have a soft start to it. And I started today because all my socialising had sort of come to a close with that side of things for the end of the year and to sort of the spillover to the new year for those that I, couldn't catch up with before the end of the year. And then this year, as I say, I started today, and it was a lot easier than I anticipated. I think in our minds we build up these things to be bigger than what they actually are. I mean, I was speaking to one of our clients today. There's the saying, hey, have a week's worth of calories in one day before I start a diet. That's what I was thinking too, like, I don't know what it is about everybody. We all like to just sort of cram it in, and all those favourite foods, we make sure that we've had them all so we don't miss out on them or don't feel as though we miss out on them when we're on the diet. Les is saying, new name for you, Rach, how Goldsworthy, with all that water only, hopefully you don't have. Well, I'm hoping. I feel like my 2 legs at the moment are like canisters of water. I didn't think it was possible to drink that much water. This is 2.2 litres, and yes, no, those plastic haters, BPA friendly. I have ordered my stainless steel one, but I didn't want to not start because of that. This is my other water bottle that I splurged on because I do love a good stainless steel, and it's sort of stainless on the inside, and it has a stainless straw as well, so you can drink that. So literally 2.2 litres of water in this one. That's a litre of water there, so I did that. And then my Contigo, which is my good go-to, that's another 900. And then I fit in another, this is my level 10. Big shout out to you, Tom Ferry, thank you for sending this to me. My level 10 health. This is actually a protein drink that I supplement sometimes too when I don't have enough protein in what I'm doing each day. So, because you've really got to, I think we've got to take out carbs and take out this and take out that, but sometimes we need to add more than take away. So you've really got to think about it. So I ended up probably having 4.5 litres, and also for those of you that are worried about me for, just not having too much water, I suppose, and electrolytes and those sorts of things. I'm topping it up with some Celtic salt, which has those 82 trace minerals. So I'm hoping everything will stay online there. Hey, Ange, how are you? Hi, Nichelle, how you doing? Hey, Jem, how are you? Jem is saying, so glad you went back for the navy bottle. I know. We were shopping over Christmas, Gemma and I. Gemma works with me. She's my 2IC and absolute trooper. And we were looking at different things, and I circled past this drink bottle. I don't know whether you can all see this one here. And I liked it, and I thought, oh, no, that's a lot of money for something that's just a water bottle, really and truly. But it's on brand. The colour, navy, if anybody knows me, I love navy. So navy, red, white, Australian colours, that's what we go for. So Les is saying I wouldn't put that much water on my garden. I know, especially in this heat, because it's going to be evaporated all up. And Les is saying you might get reported for using too much water. I know if there was water restrictions, I would be in trouble, I am sure. But yeah, I was talking to a client of ours, Jess, earlier today, and she's got some aloe vera plants, which she knows I love natural remedies, and aloe vera is really good for, you know, sunburn and those sorts of things. Not that I get too sunburned, but sometimes when I'm out on the kayak, I get a little bit of a glow on. So anyway, she's kindly going to be dropping those into the office, so I really appreciate that. Hi, Ange, how are you? And I sort of asked her from a New Year's perspective. I've got messages coming in all sorts of ways, which is good. It's nice to see everybody. I asked her about what sort of quote for the beginning of the year, because obviously we had, you know, we said thank you and goodbye to 2024 for lots of different things for lots of different people. And I think that 2024 for everybody that I've been speaking to has been good and not so good, but everyone's really looking forward to 2025. And new year, new beginnings. That's kind of what it is. And when I was speaking to this client of ours, she was saying her and her family, she's starting a different garden. So she's changing from the aloe vera plants to the tropical plants. That's my magpie in the background. He wants to get fed. Should we go and feed him? Maybe we should go and feed him, and then we'll come back to the quote. How about that? Let's go out and see if we can. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen in these lives, do you? Okay, let's see if I can swing it around. There we go. There's my guy. How you doing? Hello. Hi. How are you? Hi. This is Maggie, of course. Hi. How are you? You want to have a little bit of supper? We're getting ready for a storm, so I hope everybody's hunkered down and ready to go. Gemma's saying we have aloe vera plant here. It's come in handy a few times. Yeah, Gemma loves going out into the sunshine, even though she knows she's not meant to. She's got that beautiful porcelain skin. She said she's still writing 2024. So, yeah, there's Maggie, and we had little water dragon here earlier, the baby water dragon. He came into the office, believe it or not. So, I think that's enough for the guys. All right, so let's swing it around and we'll go back inside and back to where we were. All right, oh, you can see I've put in new lights, and you can see where the boys from. Thanks very much, Gold Electrical. I've put in stainless steel downlights. So I'm going to fill those downlights and do some painting over the next couple of weeks. So anybody that likes a paintbrush or would like to join me, I would love to have you here with me doing the painting. Gemma's, oh, Pete. Hey, Pete, how are you? Nice to see you on the line. How did you go with that stairwell? You was putting in a stair, like a little, what do you call it? His poor little puppy dog is losing his sight. So poor little Jasper, so he was going to put in a little ramp for the puppy dog, so he knew it was a sensory thing. So great idea. He put carpet squares underneath where he was going to walk. So even though he loses his sight, he can feel where he needs to go. Great idea. Gemma's saying I'll cover my head to toe from now. Yes, I've learnt my lesson a few years back. Absolutely. Hey, Nada, how are you? Nice to have you here. So the quote. Let's get back to the quote. We said good night to Magpie. They've gone off for their little dinner and everything else. And before we start, Pete's saying no good. It ended like a slippery dip. Yeah, it was a little bit steep. When I looked at it, it was great. it was an engineering feat in itself, but it did have like a bit of a slope like that. So maybe needed to sort of, I'm no NDIS dog person, but I'm just saying, it was a great idea, good start, but we might work on some carpet squares down the stairwell. I think you'll get used to it anyway, just the same. All right, so Jess was the client that we spoke to today, and although we're not back in the office officially until next week, we're still catching up with people, we're still talking to people, and it's so nice to touch base with everybody. But I was talking about saying thank you to 2024 and goodbye to 2024 and hello to new year and new beginnings for 2025 and what that meant to her. And she's starting this new garden, and the garden is going from cactus and those sorts of things to a tropical garden, which is a great idea, especially in this sort of heat. But you'd also want to have the water with it, because out this way you don't have that much rainfall in comparison to the hinterland or some of those sorts of places. So it's worth, you know, considering all those sorts of things. But her quote that she came up with was, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And I thought how important that is to remember, because when I was looking at the new year and looking at 2024 and what had happened in 2024 for me and all of the positive things and all the other things that happened, and I believe everything happens for a reason too. So there's always opportunity. I feel that, I mean, the Chinese say crisis is an opportunity, and that is one of those things that we all have different things in our lives, whether we lose people. We lost some great people in 2024, and it makes me really sad to think that they're not going to be with us any longer, but it is what it is. Other things, pop in the comments below. Other people may have experienced certain things that have happened. We've got to attend a funeral this month, so it's very, very sad time for everybody, but I guess we have to remember the good times. Like, I went to a beautiful 100th birthday, and Val, she was celebrating her life with everybody. There was like 300 people that attended, and it was so nice to see everybody there. Hey Wendy, how are you? Hi Jax, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. And yeah, there was so many great things that happened in 2024, and I tend to focus on those because we can't change the things that weren't so great, but we can readjust as to how we're going to move forward with that. And part of that is the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It doesn't matter what it is that you're focusing on. The new year gives you an opportunity to start different things, or start anew, or, you know, give up smoking, give up drinking, start exercising, spending more time with the kids, spending more time with the family. I'm not too sure what that is for you. I'm pretty lucky in that regard. I don't drink or smoke, so they're two things that aren't even, or have never even been on my radar. But there's other things that I work on, just like you work on as well. And, you know, it could be simple as finishing an old job. Like Jax is leaving one job at the moment and going into another one. So we wish her all the best for tomorrow. It's a big start for her in a new job and a new opportunity. And I think the new year does that for everybody. But looking at the timelines, like, why do we all wait for the new year? It's sort of like a full stake in our mind as to, okay, well, we'll start here and do that. I know I sort of started mid-year last year on a few different things. And even earlier, like a couple of years before, I sort of started working on a few things for me as well. But each year I just sort of, I call it the stacking effect. And each year I just keep on adding to the things that are working and subtract the things that aren't working in my life. So I came out of the gates hard this year with the 75 hard challenge, which big shout out to Katie and Ryan in Texas. They sent me an invite last week to join. I put it out to the universe, and then in came the inbox straight away. So I thought, yeah, this is meant to be. I'm going to be doing this. So I think everyone's probably been following my stories would know I keep a little diary here, and the diary, yeah, I'm old school. I have a compendium. I used to have a smaller compendium, but I felt that I wanted to live, love, big life. So if I have a small compendium, I'm going to have a small life. So I thought, I'm going to go big, go hard, and here we have it. So I opened the diary on the 6th, which is today, and I wrote in the diary, I don't know whether you can see that or not, but all the things that I wanted to achieve for just today. And I do that on a regular basis. Hey Maggie, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. I do that on a regular basis so that I can just keep myself accountable. And the other thing too is jumping online and talking to all you beautiful people. It allows me accountability with a group of people. Now, you might not be doing the 75 hard. You might be giving up smoking. You might be wanting to spend more time with the puppy dogs. You might be wanting to get more of a balance with work. You know, you don't want to spend as much time at work. You might want to be spending more time with your staff outside of work or having more meetings inside of work to find out what makes them tick and how to best support them, because we spend a lot of time with people at work and it's really important to have good relationships with them and just thank them for being the people that they are. So lots of things for me for the new year, but 3 words that came up for me was abundance, clarity, and purpose. So 3 really important things that I'm going to focus on. And with the 75 hard challenge, it's not about the challenge per se, it's about those increments, those stackable things that you're adding to your list each and every year. And one of those things for me was setting up this calendar, and it's filling up pretty fast actually, which is great, but they're all things that are going to make a difference to my life and to people around me and in my life. So Jim is saying go 75 hard or go home. Absolutely, I love that. There's going to be that many memes, and I'm going to be putting up in the stories what I'm doing, and I'm sure that there'll be some days that I do amazingly well like today, and then there'll be other days that I don't do so well. Like even this morning I woke up, and I kid you not, like yesterday I had a massage because I thought I want to work, you know, go into the new week feeling good, relaxed, self-care Sunday. I went and had a massage, and it must have loosened up a few things in my back and my legs and things. And I literally woke up this morning and thought, great, 75 hard, let's go for the walk. And I thought, I can't move. I literally couldn't move. So I had to sort of, you know, when you're lying on bed and your back's really sore and you sort of slide yourself out the side of the bed and thought, can I get my legs over the side of the bed? And I know how to get myself out of this if I've got a sore back or what have you. So I usually heat, wheat pack or some sort of deep heat or something like that. And if I sit with that for 5 minutes, do a few stretches and start to move, then it sort of starts to work. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for this walk, even though I can't walk and I probably look like I've got a carrot on my backside. But I've committed to this, I want to do this, and regardless of what's going on, I'm going to commit to it. So essentially I, you know, crawled out of bed sideways and then sort of like shuffled into the hallway and then down to the lounge room in my house and then put the wheat pack into the microwave. And I couldn't get in the chair fast enough to just try and get a little bit of warmth there. Once I get a little bit of warmth, that was fine. And then I thought I'd just go for the walk, and I took the kids for a walk as well, the puppy dogs, and we headed off down the path. And I was really restricted with my movement, but as time goes, you just, you know, you sort of loosen up a little bit, and sometimes it's not possible to loosen up, but I sort of figure, you know, any movement's better than restricted movement, and the more you stay in that restricted movement, your muscles are spasming and it's causing more spasms. So you're better off to move or do some sort of light stretches or that to relieve that and get you through it. So Gemma's saying the event on the 1st of December is most important. She's talking about the diary, and apparently it's somebody's birthday on the 1st of December. I'm not too sure, Gemma, whose birthday that is, but let's have a look up here. It might be in the diary. I think it might be right there. Anybody see what that says? Of course, it's Gemma's birthday. So getting up this morning was a little bit of a slow start for me, but that was okay. And I read my 10 pages when I got back. I had a cup of hot cup of tea, and that was great. Hey Pam, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. And no, I can't see you in your lounge room or wherever you may be. Don't stress. I'm just saying hello to everybody that pops on, the ones that I can see coming in, because there's quite a few of you tonight, and I appreciate it. The other thing, that you do the second workout, and I'm thinking, gee, I've done one workout this morning. That was my 45-minute walk, and it was outside, because one of the activities needs to be outside, the other one inside. If you get out in the sunshine first thing in the morning, it sort of resets the circadian rhythm. So I do love that part of it. It's the same thing when you go overseas and you're in a different time zone. I always go out in the sunrise, and then that sets the circadian rhythm. You don't get that jet lag as you normally would. So yeah, so I did the first workout, which was the walk. Then the second workout, I was thinking, gee, I've never worked out. I used to be a fitness instructor, so I used to teach pump classes, so I did 3 classes a day, no problems at all. So that was probably about 25 years ago, 30 years ago. So I'm thinking, I haven't done 3 classes in one day in that long, so I'm not too sure how I'm going to go. So I chose yoga as my second activity, and I'll post a photo up on here. My puppy dogs wanted to do the yoga with me. It was so hilarious, but it was so much fun as well. And it's amazing how, I mean, obviously my back has been a little bit sore this morning. I still got up and did the walk, but I thought yoga will enhance those stretches and to loosen things up a little bit. They might sort of make it a little bit more inflamed to start with, but I thought, and then I might finish up with an Epsom bath tonight, Epsom salt bath tonight, which will just settle everything down and get some magnesium into the system, and also help me for sleep and also for muscle recovery. But the yoga was fantastic. It was really, really good. And I was actually looking forward to it, because literally, when in your mind you think, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And I was sort of thinking, I can't do the exercise. I'm not going to be able to do the water. And I thought, you know what? One step. That's all you need. Whether it's getting up out of your chair and back down, you can just stand up and sit down, stand up and sit down. You might only do 10 of those, or whatever it is, or go for a walk with the puppy dogs, or do yoga, or go to the gym, or it's just taking that first action step towards it. The other thing was, I came back from the walk, I sat down, I read my book, 10 pages. That was pretty simple, like 10 minutes, 10 pages, I was done. Thinking, this is a lot easier than I anticipated. In my mind, I'd also thought, that's a lot of water, 3.78 litres of water. How I'm going to be peeing all day, which I was, admittedly, but I set a goal with the water. I sort of broke it into 3 parts. So I thought, if I have one litre by 10:30 or sooner, then the second litre by midday, the third litre by 2:30, and then the 4th litre, or up to 4th litre, by 5 p.m, then that'll allow me to have a good night's sleep, and I won't be peeing or wanting to pee throughout the night. So that's essentially what I did, and pretty much by 4 o'clock, 4:30, I'd finished all the water, and I've been drinking a little bit more. And it hasn't affected me. It's been great, and if anything, I feel as though it's kind of almost like that plant that's been nourished, and like we are 85% of water, so I think it's a positive thing to drink as much water as we can. Wendy's saying, good to see you sticking to your goals. Keep it up. I went to the gym this Arvo too. I'm off to watch the opening ceremony. Oh, fantastic, Wendy. That's great. And Big Scout Jamboree Camp. One of your girls. That's fantastic. Oh, you have a wonderful night. I hope the Jamboree Camp goes well for them. It's a big deal going to that. And I'm not too sure about the weather, because it looks a bit stormy here. So I hope pray for good weather for you. Pray for good weather for you. So yeah, I read the book. That was easy enough to do. I drank the water. I followed the diet throughout the day. That was pretty simple. The diet that I'm following is pretty much just basic eating, just meat and salads. I'm not a veggie. I'm sorry, I can't do no meat. I love my meat too much, but I'm trying to keep sort of carbs to a minimum, but still, around about that. I think it's about 80 to 100 carbs, and the same sort of thing with protein. Protein's the hardest thing to get up to that same level as well, but I'm having things like, chicken thighs, salmon, with the good omega-3 oils. I did some food prep as well on Sunday, so that was good. Just chopped up the lettuce, tomato, and the cucumbers, and the things that I throw into the salads, and the onions and the corianders and basils, and so it's already there. So you just sort of pick it up, put it all into a bowl, and you know, for somebody who's busy with work and what we're doing, it's easy to do. Les is my best friend from like 30 years. I think it's 30 years. 30 years. Let's see, what sort of best friend am I, Les? I can't remember. But she's got mason jars, so that's a really good thing. You start with the hard things down the bottom, and then you put the soft things up the top, and then you've got your mason jar ready to go. And then you turn it upside down on a plate when you serve it, and it's very fresh. So that's also another option that you can do. No cheat meals or alcohol. So alcohol will be easy for me. I don't drink, but I know that can be challenging for people. So stick at it if you are doing that. And yeah, so it seemed to be easier than I anticipated, which was a positive thing. But as I say, the Celtic salt is a really good thing for the water as well. So, pardon me, I want to make sure that I've got those trace minerals going into me, because you've got, you know, the magnesium and those sorts of things that you get out of it, the potassium, the calcium, the iron. So really important to have the right minerals. I'm not a doctor, so don't take any advice as it is a doctor. It's only my personal experience. But I've been surrounded by wonderful naturopaths, wonderful medical professionals, wonderful, I have got friends who are physios, I've got friends who are chiros, I've got friends who are forensic medicine. Congratulations, Doc, on just passing. So that's, I get to call another friend of mine doctor. It's funny how it works, but I'm so proud of them. Like they did 6 years of study, so, and that's a small step to start with, but a massive goal in the end that they've achieved. And that's what you've got to look at, whether it's a 75 hard accountability that you're doing with the Texans, as I am, or whether it's just drinking more water. You might start with one habit and just work that in over 30 days, because sometimes by having that too much too soon, you end up doing nothing. And that's not my intention of wanting to get started with this. My intention for this is just to continue to stack those things that are working in my life and then move away from the things that aren't working in my life. And it's really serving me well, and I feel as though I'm supported by that process. And you know, it's a good thing. The other thing to do with the Celtic salt, you know, you can use it as flavouring on different things. So you may not, like sometimes if I have a glass of water, I might put one of the crystals under my tongue. So that's a thing that you can do, and then that enhances the absorption, similar to an electrolyte. You know, it is also known to boost the immune system as well. So especially this time of year, coming back from holidays and that, I mean, usually your immune system is quite high because you've been eating well, you've been relaxed, you've been no stress, those sorts of things. So it's really important that, you know, you have all that. But Celtic salt's great, you know, like it supports the skin. You can hear one of the C-17s going over, I think it is there, maybe coming back in, bit of metal in the sky, and it's a natural detoxification. So if you're looking for something, you know, you can look it up, you can get them from the natural food stores. It's different to Himalayan salt. It's sort of gathered from sea salt, and you know, if you put salt, or you go to the sea and you come out of the salt water, or surfing last weekend or the weekend before, you can feel the salt on your skin, you know, and it's lovely, and it's the same sort of thing. It also promotes like alkalinity, so changing your pH depending on whether you're more acidic or more, you know, alkaline. So, and being more plant-based, you naturally become more alkaline. Whereas if you have Coca-Cola or more meat, it's more acidic. So if you're trying to balance out the two, it's always a good thing to look at doing there. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing for the 75 hard this year. And you're more than welcome to come on the journey with me. I'd love to hear about your journey, how you're starting your new year. I think for me, it's just stating what you want to do, knowing in your head what you want to do, first of all. Brain dump, that's what I did, write a big list of all the things that I wanted to do. And then I thought, well, what are the things that are most important to me? Because I could do 50 things and not do them very well, or I could do 3, 4, 5 things really well, and then from there add to that. So that's essentially what I've done, and I'd love to hear what your 1, 2, 3 things, 5 things, whatever it is. It might be nothing. You might be looking at starting in February because you're still away on holidays. I went to rock the house with I took my mum and dad to the Opera House on, I think it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday. And it was a great session that they had Leo Sayer. Remember, You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. And then we had Jack Jones, we had Ella Hooper, we had Glenn Shorrock, Wendy Matthews. Fantastic lineup, brilliant. And the acoustics in the Opera House are amazing. Yeah, it was just a concert. I didn't realise, but Glenn Shorrock has got Parkinson's, and he was so humble about his success, but he just was joking the whole way through, and he was so lovely with the process, and everybody around him was so supportive of him and what he was doing. And you know, he's 80 years old and still singing as strong as ever. Leo Sayer, he's 76. He also lives in Australia now too. Same thing with Ella Hooper. Wendy Matthews, I'm not too sure. She's got she had New Zealand background, but you know, somebody else might be able to pop in the comments where she is. But I think the new year gives us an opportunity to look at doing new things. So whatever that is for you, I would say lean into it. I'm going to drink a glass of water. Pardon me. So lean into it, whatever that may be for you. Look at what you're wanting to achieve. And I want to live in a world that it's basically you wake up and you're excited. That's the energy, because I want to raise the vibration to an excitement. So you're excited to go to work. You're excited to spend time with family and friends. You're excited to take the puppy dogs for a walk. You're excited about, you know, what the day holds. You don't know what the day's going to hold. It doesn't matter what it throws at you, because it's going to be, you know, joyful and you know, you're gracious and grateful for what actually happens in your life. And I think, yeah, it's going to be an interesting year ahead, but I can't wait to hear about what you're doing. We've had people starting new jobs. We've had new romances with a few of our clients, which is so exciting to hear. We've had people, as Wendy said, going to camps. We've got people moving house from one house to another, a smaller house to a larger house. Hey Liz, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. Liz is from the Remakery, the Hawkesbury Remakery, and a wonderful place it is for community to gather. And big shout out to you, Liz. You put on a real community event by opening the Remakery over the period of the holidays, because a lot of people are closed during that time. And I know that it's always a hard thing because you never know when to take your holidays. But I thought she is such a community-minded person, and we really love you, Liz, and all that you and your people in the Hawkesbury Remakery do, because you're all gathered together, you're all homemakers, you're all makers of some sort, and you bring your collective counsel, your collective wisdom, your collective design and artistic flair to everything. And it makes the Hawkesbury a really special place to be. I mean, I was speaking to Liz in the new year, and that's what you can do. You can just ring somebody and say, hey, how are you going? What's going up? What's going on? Where are we up to? And if you need something, you call people like Liz, and she just like, oh yeah, I know this person, I can connect you with that person, this person will do that. And also she was a good support too for the 12 days of Christmas that we did this year. So, and I'm looking forward to doing the training session. We're going to platform this new calendar. So anybody that wants to come along to that training session, reach out to either Liz or myself. We'll set a date in January just to see how people are with their timelines, what's going on for them. And if you haven't started your timeline, don't stress. It's no problem at all. It's just a matter of sitting down and working out what the priorities are going to be for this year for you, and then just working those stackable things that are manageable and possible. Because I think when you set a realistic goal, sometimes like this year for me, I'm probably going a little bit crazy on some of the goals, but also I have the feeling that if you shoot for the moon and you get to the stars, that's a pretty good result. So, and it's always been my philosophy too, you know, just trying to get out there and zig when everybody else is zagging, and look at different things. But I also think that leaning into your community is very important, because if you can lean into your community and the wisdom that we have in our community, the great businesses that are here that would love to be supported, the great people that we have great, beautiful conversations, in-depth conversations about many different things. And it might be the best half an hour that you spend in your day. I know certainly some of the conversations I've had with Liz and some of the people that work there with her and other people in the community. It's just a really nice thing to be able to say, hey, neighbour, what are you doing? I mean, I shared a meal last night with a neighbour, and I've never done that before. I've known this person for, I don't know, 20 years or so. No, maybe 15 years. And we just shared a meal together. And sometimes that's as simple as it is to make people feel part of that community, and to make people feel as though there is alternatives out there as well. Because sometimes, I've sat at home by myself at times, and I might go and sit up in one of the local restaurants, and then you strike up a conversation with somebody, and it's just a really nice thing to do. So, yeah, I think the new year is going to bring lots of opportunities for all of us. I can't wait to hear what all of you are going to be doing. Pop in the comments below one new habit that you're going to bring in this year that will serve you well, or one new habit that you're working towards that you're going to bring in. Or it might be a habit that somebody else is going. If you don't have any habits that you want to bring in, your world is so magical and beautiful and wonderful. Tell us in the comments how you did it and how you got there, because we would love to hear about that. But please pop in the comments below. Share this with somebody that needs a little bit of a pickup, or wants to talk to somebody about different things, or look at their new year differently. Because as that saying said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And all you need to do is one step. So do that one step. Move towards that common goal, whatever it is, whether it's a community goal, a collaborative goal, or whether it's an individual goal that it may be for you. Like I'm doing both collaborative and individual goals. Liz is saying keep the feet on the grass to start the day. Oh, I love that. Definite grounding for that, because there's something in that. When they go say hug a tree, there's a reason why they say go hug a tree, because when you go hug a tree, the energy that the trees have, and you put your arms around those trees, the energy that the trees have, and honestly, the energy of the root system that goes down. And there's a study that was in British Columbia, and they talked about the trees and how they communicated with one another. So definitely look that up. Go and stand, put your feet on the grass first thing in the morning. Go and watch the sunrise, whatever it may be. I think that's a wonderful way to start the day. Liz, thank you for sharing. And everybody else, just pop in the comments below whether you're watching live or whether you're watching afterwards. We would still love to hear it, because that one comment will help that next person. They might not know what they want to do this year, but it might just inspire them to do something for themselves or for their community, which is what this is all about. So with that being said, I wish you all a wonderful start to 2025. It has been for me, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with a lot of different people over the next 12 months and reconnecting with old people, old people that I have caught up with. And it's kind of nice to do that as well. And then I'm also going to I will have this calendar that I'll have, and I'll put it on my story as well. I don't know whether any of you, I bought one of these. I don't know whether it's a dud or whether it's going to work well, but I have an Apple Watch, but I don't like wearing the Apple Watch. It's strange, isn't it, because of the EMF on it. But I can turn the phone off, but have this attached to my arm. So I'll tell you whether it's a fail or it's a do again. Next week after I've been doing this walk, because I don't want to be carrying around the mobile as you're walking. I don't want to have it on my phone as a watch. I could probably download it and have it offline on the watch as well. I've got to try and work out how to use the Apple Watch. So if anybody knows how to use the Apple Watch, downloading things and having it offline whilst you're walking, that would be great. Fantastic help to help me with my fitness journey. All right, people. Well, let me know how you go. Have a great week ahead, good year ahead. Take care of yourselves and each other, and look forward to catching up with you, whether it's on a story or on a reel or on a live, or next week on 2mm Mondays to improve our lives by 2mm each and every week together. Looking forward to it, people. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe in the storms. Bye now.